And hello, welcome back to another episode of Till Death Do Us Part. We're playing Planescape Torment, classic Dungeons and Dragons game on the computer. We've used some mods, check those out. Those are in the description of the video for how we got it to work on a newer computer and update graphics, things like that. So anyway, we have escaped the, I guess escaped is kind of an extreme word, but we've gotten out of the starting area. We've got a couple quests here. We're trying to find Farad, who apparently delivered us to the mortuary. We're finding our missing journal. We're trying to find a way to help Ingress, who is a mad woman who claims that this place is full of doors. And then we're trying to find Craddock, to give him a message from a messenger we found outside. So anyway, we are currently, let's see, if we look at our map, we are currently in the Gathering Dust bar. So let's go ahead and see if there's any interesting people around here. Looks like a lot of these people have names, so we'll have to talk to these people. Let's see here. Let's start with Narakja, I guess. You see a spindle-thin dustman in dirty black robes. His stiff black hair springs forth from his skull like a crown of spikes, and his leper-white skin is drawn sharply across his skull. He is frowning into his drink and mumbling to himself. Greetings. The dustman looks up, blinks once, and then looks you up and down, studying you. As he studies you, he takes one of his spiked locks and points at himself with it. Narakshe, Initiate, Dustman, Guard. I'm here about the posting outside. Can I ask you some questions? Let's talk about the posting. The dustman looks you up and down. Many troubles have I. I can help you. Help can you? A mausoleum awakes. The dead walk. The dead disturbed. The dustman disturbed. Find out what disturbs the undead, and copper coins will I pay. Very well. Where is this mausoleum? Mausoleum by Dustman Memorial. Go north and west from Black Monument. Go to Arch, and a semicircle over your heart with your fingers make. He wiggles his index finger on his right hand. To the mausoleum go you will. I'll look into it then. Farewell. Okay, so I think we got another quest from that. Look into the matter of the mausoleum's walking dead. So that's something else we can check out. Let's see, there's another Dustman. Somber pale-faced Dustman, black robes. Greetings. Yes. Can I ask you some questions? Not at this time. Farewell then. Okay. Awaiting death. Let's talk to this person. Before you is a young dustman with a stubble on his chin and dark circles beneath his eyes. He is staring at the wall with a somber expression. Greetings. The dustman doesn't look up. He stares straight ahead as if he has seen something several leagues beyond the walls to the bar. Can I ask you some questions? Dustman doesn't respond. He keeps staring into the distance. Alrighty then, Mort hisses at you. Let's go, Chief. This dusty might as well be fertilizer. Fair enough. Let's get out of here. As you turn to leave, the dustman suddenly speaks, his voice barely a murmur. You have to strain to hear the words. You think he said something about wanting to die. What did you say? The boy's expression does not flicker. Do you want to die? Let's see. We've got some options here. Let's see if we can start a fight. Are you threatening me, boy? He blinks. Yes, I am. Why? Are you going to kill me? He stiffens as if making a resolution. Go ahead. I care not. That's your wish. I'll honor it. Prepare to die. Ooh. Maybe we don't want to start a fight. You want to die? Yes. Why do you want to die? This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. His face wrinkles in disgust. Why would anyone wish to remain in this foul city, in the center of a multiverse that feeds on pain and hatred? Death is silent, comforting. Surely the living cannot be as bad as you make it out to be. This is living? He bares his teeth and his hands clench. This existence is a mockery of life. Do not wish to continue the charade any longer. Okay, he just said that. Maybe after the first death. The first death? What? Were you resurrected? Resurrected? Let's see. I don't know. I've yet to see what lies beyond death and remember it. If I die again, perhaps then I could speak of it. You lie. No man can die more than once, not without being resurrected by mighty magics. Resurrected? Brought back to life. The magic required is indeed powerful. Who would be capable of such power? Powerful sorcerer or priest, or one of the powers, but not anyone I know. He frowns. I don't believe you know of anyone that sort either. You don't believe I can't die. You don't believe I can't die. If I ever die, remember I will return to you. Then you may gauge whether or not I lie. Farewell. Alright, so we'll come back to him if we need to. Alright, let's keep exploring this bar here. Old Copper Eyes. That's who we want to talk to. Before you is a tall, silent figure. He could easily pass for a statue, although the deep furrows in his face and brow make you wonder if the sculptor was a little too eager in defining the face with the chisel. He looks well over 50 years old, but exactly how much over 50 is hard to tell. As he slowly turns to look at you, you catch the dull sheen of copper in his eyes. Greetings. Old Copper Eyes stares at you. His eyes are difficult to make out past the black well of his eye sockets, but they look to have a coppery sheen about them. I have some questions. Copper Eyes says nothing. Never mind. Farewell. Okay. So there's another person. Let's just keep moving around the bar. Oh, here we go. Some zombie bodyguards. So this must be Emmerich. Someone important. You see a heavy-set man with a dark skin and grim features. He is dressed in Dustman robes and is regarding you with a stony gaze. Greetings. You have the look of one lost. The man's voice is like stone settling. Did the wind send you, or are you here with purpose? Who are you? I am Emmerich, Factorum, an initiate of the Fourth Circle. Is this your bar? If you measure ownership in copper, this is not my establishment. If you measure ownership in spirit, it is mine. He pauses as if he's trying to emphasize a point. The Dustmen here are my students. They are under my protection. Can I ask you some questions? Emmerich waits. Alright, let's see. Already asked him if it's his bar. Dustman faction, search of a journal, searching for Ferret. So let's talk about the journal first. I have come in search of a journal. These eyes have seen no journal. Perhaps your search will take you elsewhere. Okay, other questions then. I'm searching for a man named Ferret. I would know why you seek the collector, Ferret. I wish to speak to him. Let's see. As do I. He has made such a thing difficult. He speaks through other men. Emmerich falls silent for a moment. When two men speak through other men, little is said and much is lost. Why do you want to speak with Ferret? The collector, Ferret, has brought many corpses to the mortuary of late. One must ask where these bodies are from. Look, whatever's between you is your business. Just want to know where he is. Perhaps I can find out where these bodies are from. How would you do such a thing? I would track down Ferret and ask him. If you spoke with the collector Ferret and returned with his answers, and will have done a great service for the Dustman. Find where the dead he brings to us are from, and you will be rewarded. Very well. Find Ferret, speak to him, find out where the dead body brings you are from. Your path is our path. Return here when you've collected Ferret's answers. Can you tell me where he is? It's not known to me where the collector Ferret is. He hides from the eyes of the Dustman. I would seek other collectors and ask them your questions. Alright, I'll see what I can do then. Farewell. Okay, so we've got another thing we can talk to Ferret about. Let's see here. Who else do we have? Another Dustman, another Dustman, another Dustman. Seer the Skeptic, Zombie Worker. These gates we can't go through. Skeleton Worker. Dustman. Moriarty, Gravesend, Dustman. Okay, so let's talk with this guy over here. He has a name. Names are usually important. As you approach, the elderly woman turns and stares at you. La, look who's come a-calling on Sarah today, Death's dearest son. She looks you up and down, then shakes her head in disbelief. By every power and its mother, boy, what crypt did you crawl out of? I didn't crawl out of... I'm fresh out of the mortuary, actually.
That so?
Sarah raises an eyebrow.
Warms my ears to hear you gave that place a laugh, boy. Not much of a watering hole for one who isn't relieving themselves.
She sniffs.
Too many cobwebs and dusty mines.
You don't like the mortuary, aren't you, Dustman?
A dustman, I suppose.
Sarah sniffs.
I've seen enough sand pass through the hourglass while wearing these robes. This body's almost ready to pay the ferryman.
She chuckles, but there's not much mirth in it. Are you afraid of dying?
Of course I am, boy. Who isn't?
She frowns and glances around.
Well, except dustmen. They're not afraid because they've been swallowing so much of their own bat droppings over the decades. They've blinded themselves into thinking that death is some kind of release.
It is release of sort. You don't sound much like a dustman. She shrugs.
I guess the dustman robes don't fit me as well as they used to.
What happened? She shrugs.
Life, I suppose.
She frowns.
Ha! Never you mind. I won't bore you with the niggling details.
I'd like to know. Alright, I had some other... I think the powers for that. Alright, I had some other questions.
Questions, eh? Well, you can ask.
Sir looks at you with a steely eye, then smiles.
Crypt crawler.
Okay, let's see. Have you seen a journal recently?
What does it look like?
No idea.
If you don't know what it looks like, how do you expect to find it?
Beginning to wonder that myself. Alright, let's see. Man named Farad. Crumples a frown.
That dog. He's the worst of the collector lot. I heard he has his kip set up somewhere in the Ragpicker Square, that many streets west of the mortuary gate. Dangerous place, though. Some of the collectors aren't patient enough to wait for folks to die so they can sell them for jink.
I see. Other questions? No. Take my leave. Let's talk to someone else. There's someone else named Moriarty Gravesend. Alright, so let's see here. This tiny wizened man is dwarfed by his huge dustman robes. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature. Although he looks to be in his late 90s, the man is extremely energetic. He fidgets continuously and his eyes dart around the bar like a bird's. Greetings. Man's eyes gleam as he takes your measure, and he gives a slight nod in greeting.
Hail and well met, traveler. You look like one who is just getting their sigil legs about them.
He trails off.
Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow.
Possibly. Are you certain it was me?
Maybe I was mistaken.
Mortai shakes his head.
Well, no matter. How is that Mortai Gravesend may help you? Do you seek?
He clucks his tongue as he speaks.
The contract, perhaps?
Contract?
The contract. Why, is but a simple transaction.
From the depths of his huge robe, Mortai pulls forth a dusty parchment and a quill pen.
I give you 50 commons in return. After death, the Dustman faction may claim your remains.
He smiles and clicks his tongue.
What use will you have for them at that point anyway?
Alright, 50 coppers for my corpse. Very well, I'll sign.
Excellent.
Mortai looks overjoyed. With a thin smile, he places a dusty sheet of parchment and the quill pen in front of you.
You shall not regret it.
He jabs his finger at 3 points on the page.
Sign here, here, and here, and our transaction is concluded.
Sign there, there, and there. Yay, experience. You take the quill in your hand, begin to scratch your signature on the parchment. The quill pen makes a strange scritching noise that touches parchment, like a dagger writing on steel. As you try to sign the parchment, however, you notice that it seems to be shifting beneath your pen. No matter how hard you try, you can't seem to sign your name. The contract seems to twist from being a dusty piece of parchment to something alive. Mortai? What's with this contract? When you glance up to speak to Mortai, you see that his face has been replaced with that of a grinning skull. The rest of the bar seems to stop, the patrons falling silent, freezing like statues. Mortai opens his mouth and a wisp of dust trails from inside the skull. Mortai? With a rasp, Death's head speaks, dust steaming from its teeth. Sign. Remember, everything has its price, and what can change the nature of a man? The words are ragged, dead chorus as if being spoke by 5, 10, 20, 100 voices, old, young, female, male, desperate, calm, hysterical, nature of a man. As you speak the words, suddenly you feel faint, and the next thing you hear is Mortai's voice, normal, and his hands upon your shoulder. "Sir, are you all right?" He laughs uneasily. "I thought I'd lost you for a moment. Try to get your bearings." It is as if time has exhaled and resumed its natural breathing. The rest of the bar has returned to normal, and Mortai's face is no longer a death's head. You feel a strange pressure inside your skull, as if something desperately wishes to surface but cannot. Experienced with the death's head and that spoke dust, it was as if you remembered a dozen splinters of memory at once, all stabbing into each other's to create an image, and you know somehow that every voice at death's head belonged to someone now long dead. Alright. Removes his hand from your shoulder, looks uneasy at the prospect of losing a customer, than any concern for your welfare. As you stare at the dusty parchment upon the table, you know for a fact that it is not the first time you have penned your name to a contract, and perhaps not the first time you have signed one such as this. I think I'll hold off. I don't like the death's head. It would be my pleasure to answer any questions you may have. Okay. Tell me about some of the patrons here. Awaiting death. Let's see. Okay, that guy's not very interesting. Seer. Troubled Initiate. Okay, that's pretty much the same. Let's see. Old Copper Eyes, he was interesting. Never signed it. Copper has his soul into me. He speaks passion for money. He's a Dustman in name only. Yes, but it's much better they signed me rather than greedy monster. Okay. Let's talk about the other one. Emmerich. Very wise man. Let's see. No, he will not offer half the price I will for such a contract. 100 coppers. Let's see. Farad. Okay. Well.
I feel stronger.
Ooh, I leveled up. Let's take a look at that. Level up. So let's see. I get saving throws, hit point, fighting skills improved, saves improve a bit. I get skills. Oh, I have no points to put in that. I guess I just have to accept. I get to increase one of these. Let's put another one into strength. Accept. And then we'll close that off. Okay, I think we've talked to everybody that we could in here. Let's check to see if anything else changed in our journal. We got that extra one from Farad. Mausoleum's Walking Dead. And there's no one else with the name in here to talk to. So I think that it's time to head on out. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Stop. Okay. So let's head on out, I guess. We talked to everyone we could in here. Alright, so let's save the game, and we'll pick this up in the next episode. So make sure you come back and join us for that, and we will see if we can't do any of these quests. We'll go back up to the mortuary maybe and try that quest. So until next time, play games, have fun, and we'll see ya.